Hi, this is Jennifer Lear with Littleton Speakers and Talent, here with Judy Moreo, communication expert. Now, Judy, I know that you have a new book coming out called Overcoming Cancer, A Journey of Faith. Tell me about this book and why you wrote it.
This book is really my story, but it's more than my story, because many of us go through life and everything seems to be just fine, and then all of a sudden one day something happens that's devastating and you think, where do I go from here? In my case, it was going to the doctor for my yearly mammogram, and then the doctor says, you have cancer, you have to have surgery tomorrow. Wow. So it's quite a shock, and I went and had the surgery tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock on my birthday. And then after I got out of the surgery and started healing up a little, the doctor said, oh, it looks like you still have cancer, and we're going to have to do another surgery, and your life is going to be totally different than what it was before. I was in such shock, and I was like, what do I do now? What do I do now? I'm finally at a point in my life where I feel really, really successful, and everything is fine, and now it's going to be over. And then I started hearing this voice, and I know people think I'm a little weird that I say I heard this voice, but this voice I heard in my head kept saying, I don't want to do chemo, I don't want to do radiation, I don't want to die, I don't want to go through all of that, which I'm sure everyone that's been told they have cancer has that kind of an experience.
Sure.
So I started doing research. I locked myself up for a month. I read every book I could on cancer. I found every video I could find. I studied. I called every doctor that every book talked about. I tried to find out what to do and how to do, and a friend of mine said there's a great doctor in Cedar City, Utah that I think can help you. And so I went up to see this naturopathic doctor in Cedar City, Utah, and when I got there, the first thing he said to me was, let's see if we can get you well. And he was the first person who said anything about getting well.
Wow.
Prior to that, everybody said, let's talk about your treatment.
Wow.
And when he said, let's see if we can get you well, I thought, what a novel idea. I think I could go for this. And so he started treating me with vitamin and mineral drips and trace elements, and he changed my diet and recommended a lot of things for me to do. And over a period of 7.5 months, 7.5 very tough, disciplined months, my cancer marker numbers dropped from very, very high to very, very low. My oncologist said, this is a miracle. Your numbers are far below any average person walking around in the street. What did you do? And I told him. And so he kept saying to me all the way through this whole process, you know, if you're not going to do what I tell you to do, then at least I'm going to monitor your blood fiercely. And I was like, yeah, please, that's what I want you to do. So 7.5 months later, he said to me, it looks like you don't have cancer anymore. So I wrote this story because I want people to understand the feelings that you get when you're told you probably won't live another year, and the feelings that you go through. But more than that, I want people to have hope that there's another way, there's something else they can do. And whether or not they choose traditional medicine or whether they go with conventional medicine or whether they go the naturopathic route, it's up to them. That's something that people have to make their own decision. But my book is about how do you boost your immune system while you're going through whatever you're going through. And do I talk about it? I've not been hired to speak on overcoming cancer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a specialist. What I do sometimes in my speeches is share a little bit of my journey with people, because everyone in the world seems to have either been touched by cancer in one way or another. Either they've had it or someone in their family has had it. And of course, if people called and said, would you come and talk about this? Of course I would, because it's such an incredible story when I found out that there was another way. There was something else that we could do. And I put it all down in the book because there were some horrendous experiences with dealing with the medical community, and there were some difficult emotional things that have to do with how do we communicate with ourselves even in difficult times. And so we have to learn to communicate with ourselves. So powerful. And you know, I kept thinking that God was going to send me a sign and tell me that life was going to be different. I thought it was going to be a rainbow or a white dove or something was going to flicker through my life and things were going to change, but it didn't come that way. It came in the way of a sign. I actually saw a sign on the wall in a chiropractor's office that said, the power that made the body heals the body. It is the only way.
Wow.
And when I saw that sign, I felt this incredible peace, and I knew that I was making the right journey. And so I just wanted to share that with people so that if they're debating what they should do about their journey, that they can take a look at it and
Make
maybe
an
just
informed choice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Well, thank you so much, Judy, for being here, for sharing your book, Overcoming Cancer, A Journey of Faith. I think it's going to inspire and educate a lot of people out there.
I hope so.
And I know your journey personally, so I was there with you along the way and saw what an inspiration you were and how you did use your mind as a big part of your treatment and overcoming the cancer and creating a wellness within. And I was inspired by you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. This is Jennifer with Level 10 Speakers and Talent. Thanks for joining us.